It's the Schadenfreude Show. We're here to show you the Schadenfreude Show. With Sparks today, it's the Schadenfreude Show. Sorry, this is just so stupid. When did the city come out? Okay, here, somebody else coming out. And then oh, here you go. Back up. And then they wander out. Down. I don't know how to break it to these guys, but literally no one. Yeah, sorry, it was loud. I beg your pardon. Literally no one needs. Oh yeah, because the audio on the other thing was.
Where are we? Right here?
Yeah, literally no one needs a new picture of Steve Bannon. Seriously, no one. I mean, if I was Steve Bannon, I would insist on just use the oldest picture you can find.
Right here.
Where's David?
Right here.
Where's my lawyer?
Listen, ordinarily we don't like to comment on the case, but I have to.
Ordinarily, we don't want to comment on the case, but we have figured out after Trump that bravado and bullshit are our only recourse.
Obligation to respond to something that Attorney General Garland.
Dear God, he's hired a leprechaun.
Attorney General Garland wrote, he's promised Justice Department employees would show the American people by word and deed Justice Department adheres to the rule of law, follows the facts in the law, and pursues equal justice under the law.
Jesus, what a horrifying statement. We truly do live under the CCP.
From here, you can take off your masks.
Yes, we're outdoors.
Okay.
It's a free country.
It's a free country. You know what, dude? It's significantly less free for some folks. There's buildings, actually, where they keep those folks. Just for the record.
There's nothing about this case that reflects a pursuit of the equal justice under the law. This thing was a scam from the beginning. The committee...
Well, then show up and talk. What the fuck's the matter with you? If it's a congressional committee. Show up and talk. Say everything. If it's a scam, why hold back? It's not a criminal trial in that regard. I mean, you got a criminal trial now because you showed yourself to be in contempt of Congress. You didn't have to be. Right? Fucking show up. Show them what time it is, Bannon. Come on, man. Sit down there and tell them the truth. Like, yeah, absolutely. Rudy loaned me a stack of dead people that voted. I'm going to read also. This fella voted, and he was dead. And here's his birth and death certificate. He no longer exists. Never mind the fact that on his Facebook page, he's always wearing a MAGA hat. That doesn't matter. It was a Biden vote. Okay, we're going to assume he was a Biden vote. This next dead person to vote. Just sit there and read those. What the fuck's wrong with you? What's the problem? Again, this is not a criminal trial. You can fight, or a civil trial, and that's going after your personal finances or some shit like that. Knock yourself out. Say, I don't think they have the right to look at my stuff. It worked really well for Alex Jones. Do what he did. But it's a congressional committee. You chicken shit. Look, he's looking right at us. He knows it. He knows he's hired a leprechaun. He knows someone picked his pocket and put it right back.
Down front. The committee that was convened here was convened exclusively of people who have made prejudgments and announced them publicly.
So fucking what? What does that have to do with the quality of your opening statement and your response to the questions? Does anybody here think that I, as an individual, where I called in front of a committee of Republicans accusing me of something I did not do and making spurious accusations against me, that I would not show up and give them a piece of my mind? Anybody. I'm dead serious. Like if it was all Jim Jordans in a row, you think I wouldn't show the fuck up? Are you kidding? Who would pass up an opportunity like that if it was that big a scam? If it was really an egregious overreach? Because he, even in front of the committee, they can't reference him for, unless he knows, quite frankly, that if they get his communications for the committee, he will be in danger of incriminating himself, and he can't make the fifth argument right now, because then it'll be abundantly clear that that's exactly what he's doing, and that he knows they also already have communications from some of the other people. But there is no fucking reason why I wouldn't show up in this situation. The reason he won't is because he's guilty.
Of the committee sued President Trump personally, and before he was even appointed to his position, determined and put in writing that President Trump was responsible for the events of January 6th. This is not an investigative committee. There's nothing for him to investigate when he's made a prejudgment. We have other members.
Well, if Steve didn't do anything wrong, and his material communications and his testimony will prove that, let him sit down in front of under oath and show the world what a scam the whole thing is.
The committee who announced their prejudgments well in advance. It's not equal justice under the law, Mr. Garland, to charge a matter like this criminally. The holder of...
Sure it is. Well, it's going to get equal. I mean, the only reason it hasn't been equal is because we haven't been charging people who've been dodging subpoenas when we fucking well should.
Privilege in this case, executive privilege, invoke the privilege.
No. Dude didn't work in the White House for 3 fucking years before January 6th. It's not executive privilege. The president can't just yammer with members of the public and foment an insurrection when he lost and claim that anybody he pulls into his criminal enterprise is all of a sudden a cabinet member. There's a reason why they have to go through confirmation,
Bannon is a layperson. When the privilege has been invoked...
Ew, don't say lay and Bannon in the same sentence. And he's by no means a layperson. He's a political manipulator. By the way, if I were your lawyer, Steve, I would argue to get you put in and remanded without bail just to save you from all the maggots you stole $25 million for your fake build the wall nonsense.
By the purported holder of privilege, he has no choice but to withhold the documents. You can't put the genie back in the bottle. Mr. Bannon acted as his lawyer counseled him to do.
Real quick, when the genie came out of the bottle, which of the 3 wishes did Trump wish to be made president again magically, even though he lost? It obviously wasn't the first one, and he didn't get that one, so apparently it still looks like a toadstool.
Appearing and by not turning over documents in this case. He didn't refuse to comply. He made quite clear that if a court ordered him to comply, he would do that. But he had an obligation to honor the privilege that was invoked. And in turn...
No, he didn't. You got a subpoena. That's it. Goodbye.
To prosecuting this criminally, it violates settled Department of Justice policy that's
settled policy. It's just one of my favorite, try that. Settled. It's a settled policy. Oh, okay. Yeah. It's settled policy.
On the executive branch. It is outrageous that a criminal charge was brought.
There it is. Outrageous. Right there. There we go. The admission of guilt. Game, set, match. That's it. Anytime somebody like these outrageous, outrageous. It's outrageous that these, but it's an outrage. It's outrageous. Anytime somebody drops outrageous, it's an admission of guilt. Just understand that it is rejecting. It is saying that you daring to ask or request or seek the truth from me is an outrage, right? What'd I tell you? And like fucking clockwork.
this case. It is a misdemeanor, but it's being treated as if it were a capital case. Mr.
No, it is not. He's not facing a firing squad, dumb fuck. A capital case. You mean a felony, dipshit? Capital case. Yeah, I haven't checked the QAnon boards. Steve, has your clone been hung at Gitmo yet? How does that work out?
Takes this very seriously. It's outrageous what the government did. The principles of equal justice under law that Mr. Attorney General Garland speaks.
Innocent until proven guilty. Remember how? Oh, I'm not. He avoided the subpoena. He was indicted and he turned himself in because he did not show up for the subpoena. This is not a matter of innocent until proven guilty. The executive privilege doesn't stand. The administration has already said it. This is a disagreement about stuff. I'm disagreeing with it. Good luck. Now, his part in January 6th, that's the innocent until proven guilty part. And if he was innocent, he could race down there and go, my life is an open book. Fuck you guys. Here you go. Here's a bunch of text going. Whatever you do, don't be violent when you get up there. And also, I haven't talked to Trump in days, and he feels the same way even though we haven't talked. Get out of here.
Are vitally important to all of us. And we all lose as Americans when they're selectively used and when we violate that principle.
You see the
Yes, when they selectively use it. Yes, this is one of the times when they have used it, they're selecting not to use it in others. I would say that that is the area where America is harmed the most. If you have a subpoena to go talk to this committee, go fucking talk to the committee. If you want to talk to them behind closed doors, they'll let you. You don't have to be on camera. There's so much leeway in this bullshit. So the whinging is what's annoying.
signs right here and the guys over here saying insurrection and all that. That's what this country's about. It's freedom of speech. They got their opinions. We have our opinions. Okay? Hang on. They have their opinions. I'm telling you right now, this is going to be the misdemeanor from hell for Merrick Garland, Nancy Pelosi, and Joe.
Yeah, that's a great turn of phrase, man. The misdemeanor from hell. Will it be on the laptop from hell? Perhaps the barber from hell could tell us.
Joe Biden ordered Merrick Garland to prosecute me from the White House lawn when he got off Marine.
That's weird. Why didn't he do it then?
And we're gonna go on the offense.
Well, he couldn't until you broke the law, though. Like Biden gets off let me play the scene for you. Biden steps off. Merrick Garland is waiting there for him, clearly with a bag of donuts, and he's like, in an ice cream cone, and he goes, Mr. President, he goes, I want you to prosecute Steve Bannon. Well, I can't unless he breaks the law. Good point. All right. Well, if he breaks the law, prosecute him, but within the confines of the law, and only if he actually breaks the law. He hasn't broken the law yet. Okay. Well, you let me know if he does. If he doesn't, I guess my whole plan falls apart. That's right, Mr. President. This is going to be the misdemeanor from hell.
They're playing defense. We're going to go on the offense on this and stand by. By the way, you should understand.
Right.
Nancy Pelosi is taking on Donald Trump and Steve Bannon. She ought to ask Hillary Clinton how that turned out from them, okay? We're going on.
Well, she was supposed to get locked up or something, right? Because I don't remember, and maybe I missed it. Maybe it was as quick as this happened. Did Hillary turn herself in to the FBI to be locked up, or at any point during the time? No? Did she get a pardon magically from Obama or something at the end, and then commit another crime like days later that actually screwed her out of the... No? Huh. Weird.
Offense.
We're going on offense. Dude, anybody downwind of you knows that.
Stand by.
Jail time for not providing these documents.
Stand by. Yeah. You hear that, Boogaloo boys? You hear that, Proud Boys? He's calling you up. Come on, shock troops. Cover his ass. Yes. Throw yourself on the pyre of insurrection. Ruin your life. Throw charge the Capitol to save Steve Bannon. A man who fucked a bunch of your fellow maggots out of $25 million. The guy who, like, armchair generals this bullshit from the Willard, eating fucking shrimp cocktails while you've been told to go beat up cops. And then Judge Jeanine Pirro pays for the fucking room.
You should be outraged if he ever faced that possibility as an American. There is nothing criminal about any conduct.
Why? Why would I be outraged? Why should I not be outraged that this dude got a subpoena for the committee hearing about the worst attack on our Capitol since 1812?
That occurred in this case, and when we respond to Merrick Garland, we say apply the law equally. They don't have who else.
Yes, I agree. Arrest Mark Meadows, like all these fuckers, everybody who was on that list, the 10 that just came out. And by the way, Judge Jeanine, this means you, because you paid for those rooms at the Willard. They called you up, somebody else was stiffing them on the bill, and you paid for them. What the fuck is that?
Prosecute for invoking executive privilege in a criminal prosecution. Read the Department of Justice Office of Legal Counsel letters. It's unconstitutional according to their own opinions from some real luminaries, including, by the way, read the Office of Legal Counsel opinion by Eric Holder for the Obama administration, the Fast and the Furious.
Yeah, but he was talking about people who are actually in the administration, not random fuckos who were coordinating an attack on the Capitol a block and a half away that wasn't supposed to be in contact with the president, but it was apparently, by the way, this is not about advise and consent. This is not about counsel. Remember the whole thing about executive privilege. If we have to the records of the conversations the president have, then what a chilling effect it will have on future presidents. Well, guess what, motherfucker? I happen to think it should have a chilling effect on any president who's lost an election planning to attack the goddamn Capitol. It should chill you to the bone. I don't want to have happen to me what happened to Trump and his clan. That's what should happen. You should go, goddamn, this is scary. And what if, if you're one of the cabinets or one of the extraneous assholes like Bannon is, you're going, if I get thrown under the bus like Trump did to Bannon ultimately, I'm done. Yeah, bloggers don't have executive privilege. Exactly.
This is unheard of, to force a person to violate the invocation of executive privilege.
No. It doesn't count. It didn't count with Nixon. It doesn't count in this situation. Ask the tape recorder that recorded Nixon how much privilege it got. And then get fucked.
I mean, the court, of course, hasn't ruled yet in President Trump's case, in Trump versus Thompson, on whether executive privilege applies. But even beyond that, the Office of Legal Counsel...
No, it doesn't.
...make clear that it applies to discussions with former government officials, and that makes sense. It makes sense because we often see former officials kept in the loop that the president needs to consult with. And
yeah, he needs to consult with them on how to attack the United States of America. But, dude, murder and treason accepted. This shit doesn't cover. If you're engaged in a fucking crime, you don't get to claim executive privilege to cover the crime at all. And if the people who are in charge of discerning whether or not that executive privilege stands, namely the following group of people who come in there, the administration, the Biden administration currently go, that's not covered under privilege. It's like the assertion is just goofy.
You happen to think President Trump...
Yes, former officials are, what he means is, what he's trying to do is put Bannon on the same level as when presidents call former presidents who sat in the room with world leaders and said, what was this asshole like? And did we have a good deal or was he really messing with us? That's what presidents talk to former presidents about this, and they want to keep that on the QT. That's totally fucking fine. But if both of them coordinated a way to, slip a Mickey to a world leader and then snuff him, none of that is covered. Nor should it be. Especially if this asshole was in charge of the shock troops, which he says he was, along with Alex Jones, to send people up there that intended harm on that day, and he knew it. Yeah, and it's one of the impeachment lawyers. They only know fucking 6 people.
Talked about at the time. That's what executive privilege exists for, so that people can speak freely with the president, talk about strategy matters, and talk about national security and other important...
Yeah, but national security is the security of this nation, not Trumpistan, fucko.
Matters.
Mr. Bannon,
By the way, not just Trump
By the way, before my leprechaun continues,
people and not just conservatives. Every progressive and every liberal in this country that likes freedom of speech and liberty, okay, should be fighting for this case. That's why I'm here today. For everybody, I'm never going to back down.
yeah, that's who he's there for. Progressives, he's here for you. He's really not here for himself. He's here for you. Because freedom of speech should cover coordinated attacks on a democracy.
They took on the wrong guy this time, okay?
Well, honestly, if they just had I recommend if you take on Steve Bannon, perhaps a loofah on the end of a broomstick. All right.
On the wrong guys.
And then cite the privilege question by question. Why did you?
Because he was instructed by his attorney not to show up in Congress. A layperson has to follow his attorney's advice, in my view at least. When he's faced with a subpoena, he doesn't know anything about legal process. Otherwise, he relies.
Yeah, he doesn't know anything about legal process. He doesn't understand that when people vote for president, they want that person to be president. And if more people vote for one person, that person should actually be president. He doesn't know this legal mumbo jumbo. Electoral college should reflect the actual will of the voters. And he said, that's a lot of la.
A lawyer, and the lawyer gave the advice, and I must say, relies on the Office of Legal Counsel opinions, which very clearly say that he need not show up.
Did he get bad advice or what? I mean,
No, I don't think.
Yes, he did.
So executive privilege.
There's no other choice. Once the privilege is invoked, what would the choice be? Show up and testify. And by the way, they asked to have members, if you were to testify, to have those people invoking the privilege, a representative of the person invoking the privilege, present, just to be able to monitor it and make an objection if a privilege matter came up.
Oh, so Trump has to be there too. So if he's got to go sit in front of the committee, Trump has to sit there and go, whoa. I never even saw this asshole before. He smells like feet, but he used to get me coffee. I don't know who he is.
They refuse to allow that.
By the way, if the administrative state wants to take me on, bring it. Because we're here to fight this, and we're going to go on offense. And you stand by. You see how we're going to go on offense, okay?
Yeah, he's loving the standby thing because believe me, and Biden didn't invoke executive privilege. Trump wants it invoked. He has no right to do it. Oh, thanks so much. Thanks, Jay.
Nancy Pelosi, Merrick Garland, Joe Biden, the whole, all of them.
What do you mean?
Okay?
What do you mean?
Easy. He's allowed to pay you normally.
My offense is we're going to challenge this.
Sorry.
Affirmatively.
Thank you, James.
We're going to fight to defend his rights and to defend your rights also.
You're right.
Excuse me. Point of order. What about my right to party? Will it actually? Sorry.
Quite frankly, I represented the American Civil Liberties Union for more than 20 years and all the litigation they had in Alabama. This is an issue that the American Civil Liberties Union ought to be on our side with.
Okay, we got.
Yeah, they're not though, because it's a matter of invoking executive privilege within the administration. The current administration says no, the same way that happened after Nixon. Boring.
Let's bounce.
All right, we got to go. Thank you,
guys. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we got to go. We got to go. We have a lot of. We'd love to stay here and talk to you, but we got to sit in the lobby and wait for the limo.
January, you said that all more questions. Did you know that there was going to be violence
No more questions.
at the Capitol?
That's always a good sign when you leave your press conference and you walk away this way and you go, oh shit, the car's that way. That's one of those things where you lean over to someone while the other person is talking, going, when we get out of here, which way is the car? Make sure we know which way the car is. You're going to tug me by my sleeve and you're going to take me over there. Dude, the dude right there he's got a tote bag that looks like he got with a subscription to WAPO, and his hoodie says support your local dive shop. And he's filming it on his phone. That is some citizen journalism right now. I'm just a little upset that his phone isn't in a waterproof case. Jail is for minority. Yeah. So, anyways, that's the macho is all get out. Let's see. They just follow him down the street, and then there's footage of them just kind of going. Okay, there we go. And this, yeah. Hold on. So everybody's freaking out about this. There's so much. Yeah. So this one, I don't know if is this today. Yeah. Steve Bannon has not yet begun to fight. I have not yet begun to fight. Well, I will say that he looks way better. Oh, this is Captain Marine Bannon, War Room correspondent. And on the dole, is this daughter, wife, sister, wife? I don't know. I honestly, well, let's find out. But he has not yet begun to fight.
Captain Bannon.
He's not yet begun to pillow fight.
Before we get on to more of the stories that are coming out over at the National Pulse and at Human Events Daily, I want to make sure that we...
Oh, yeah, there's so much going on, and it's so exciting.
We get Captain Bannon's take on what we saw this morning. Let me ask you, I mean, how Steve Bannon...
Captain Bannon!
...was it to go outside of the FBI field office and open this show from there this morning?
It was 100% him. He wasn't going to let the War Room posse down. He was going to make sure that we started the show off right, which is why he did that intro. And he had that smile when he was going in there. And yesterday...
Yeah, I mean, what's not to smile about? He's denying a subpoena because he's afraid to speak under oath. I mean, there are a few prouder moments, I think, in someone's life.
I posted on my Twitter a quote that he and I discussed from one of his naval officer heroes, John Paul Jones, and it says, "I have not yet begun to fight," and we saw that this morning. He has not yet begun to fight, and
well, he should probably start then, because right now he has not yet begun to fight. He has, however, been flailing and bitching a lot. So.
With the wrong person.
Listen, I couldn't agree. There are very few.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, in many ways, all of us around here believe Steve Bannon is the wrong person. Whatever the job is, whatever the circumstance, wrong guy.
In this town that I like to pick fights with less than Stephen K. Bannon. You do not want to get into a.
Yeah, you don't want to wrestle with him because you're going to come away with some sort of boil or skin infection, some sort of gnats. I don't know. Black mold. He's the only human being who actually carries around black mold as a pet.
A strategic contest with this man. Just unbelievable.
You don't want to get in a strategic contest with this man. Yeah, no.
Captain Bannon, your social media coordinates?
You can follow me on Instagram.
Coordinates. Your social media coordinates. Get fucked. It's called a handle.
At Real Maureen Bannon, and then on Twitter and Getter at Maureen_Bannon.
Fantastic work, and we'll talk to you later on as well, Captain.
Yeah, so good. So much of it has been fucking hell. All right, now I have to go look for this. Hold on. Getter. The marketplace of ideas. This is so funny. Log in. Do I have a? I don't think I have one of these things. Create an account. Let's see. Okay. Give me 1 second. Let's see. All right. Now this is me signing up for, hold on. I'm signing up for Getter right now. Good times. Hold on. Where's mail on this stupid thing? There it is. New mail. Here we go. Sent me a code. Sorry. This is just ridiculous. There it is. All right, there you go. Who do we want to? Oh God. Well, we've definitely got to follow Maria and Sean Hannity and Jason Miller. Ugh, God, this is gross. Sean Duffy. Let's see, next. There we go. Yeah. Now I gotta, hold on. Let's see, Bannon. Let's see, and he live streamed it on there. So many of these people. Oh my God. Please God. Is this an article? Oh, okay. It's a video? No, it's just a video. It's just an article. Crap. This is so fun. Wait, look at Dinesh. Hold on. Look at Dinesh D'Souza's remarks in this circumstance. Hold on. Let's see if I can drag this over here. Whoops. Let's see, is this guy over here? There we go. Bannon is going for the jugular. Suck on this, newly indicted former Trump advisor Steve Bannon. Bannon is not afraid. It's hard to tell, though, until he molts his skin off. Okay, so stand with Bannon. Okay, Getter News. Here you go. This is the footage. Here we go.
Is this us? Hey, just want to say, tell everybody, it live stream on Getter right now. Everybody watching in the war room. We're here today. I don't want anybody to take their eye off the ball of what we do every day. Okay, we got the Hispanics coming on our side, African Americans coming on our side. We're taking down the Biden regime. Every day, the focus, you got Raheem Kassam today, you got Dr. Peter Navarro, Captain Bannon. You're going to have...
Everybody's covering for me while I'm possibly going to be in here. The upside is I think Steve Bannon is the only person that could ever go to prison where no one is going to worry about him dropping the soap, or indeed being anywhere near soap.
Epstein, the whole show, intense. We got polling out, economic data out, everything. I want you guys to stay focused, stay on message. Remember, signal, not noise. This is all noise, that's signal. Thank you very much.
Are you optimistic?
Are you optimistic about your chances? I don't know.